So many things come to mind. You have to start with the beach, in my opinion. I often say we don't have to go to Miami, don't have to go to Jacksonville. We have it right here. Beauty is as close as the bay. What's easy to love about Pensacola is a little jaded, but it's home for me. And so since it's home for me, I cannot help but see the hometown flavor. It's an easy place to love. I think it's a shame that so many of us, including myself, have to go out of town in order to come back and really appreciate it. But there's a homey feel to Pensacola. It's not too Mayberry-ish, but it's enough New York-ish to keep you captivated. So the beaches, and then it's a great place to rear a family. You go away, for a better opportunity, maybe for school, maybe for a job, most definitely to make a nice living. But then you come back home, and you can appreciate some of the things that you didn't learn to appreciate when you were growing up here. We take the beaches for granted.
Yeah.
We take the water and the atmosphere for granted. I think we're holding ourselves back in a lot of different ways. Now, in my opinion, the first way, the greatest way we're holding ourselves back is mentally. We are always talking negative thought, negative words, and thinking negative thoughts about Pensacola. PR is my major undergrad. That was my training. And, I really believe, well, I'm a preacher. The Bible says that life and death is in the power of the tongue. If we look at the positives and accentuate the positives, first off, our thought process would change. And then once our thought process changes, we'll start acting like we really do have a great community. It's hard to find a weekend, summer, spring, winter, fall. It's hard to find a weekend where something is not going on downtown. There's a lot to do, certainly a lot more to do today than the last 15, 20, 30 years ago. Working together, let's take ownership of our community. So oftentimes we break our community down into other parts. And don't get me wrong, other parts of community, it does have a place. You have to know who you are and have to embrace who you are and love who you are and never forget where you come from, your history and your heritage. But in the grand scheme of things, whether we got here on the Mayflower or on the Amistad, we're all in the same boat now. For those who are on the top, you cannot be as strong as you can be on top unless you have a strong foundation. Excuse me, unless you have a strong foundation. The stronger the bottom, the stronger the structure going upward. So let's spread it. Let's spread it around, the education, the wealth, the knowledge, to make sure that those on the bottom are strengthened first. It's so much easier to say it's your fault or his fault or her fault than it is to look in the mirror and say, I can change this. This is my job. This is my responsibility. That's the hard thing to do. But again, I can put that on the list of what we have to do and what we can do. We really can do it to make Pensacola fully realize her potential.
I think
we're on the way.